And what if we just flipped the whole model and thought about relationships with patients that lasted some interval of time, the time that they were sick, that the acute care episode. And so the conversation at the bedside is no longer, hi, I'm Dr. Muller, what is your emergency? The shaming of the patient for coming to the ER when they didn't need to. Now the conversation really is very much about, hey, I'm Dr. Muller. I'm sorry you're going through this. We think a little different about emergency care here, and I'm telling you that we plan to be with you for the next week. We use a platform that's fully capable of video, audio, texting. It does all of it. But we have encouraged people to just come on in knowing something that they know how to do, which is text. And so our response times have been good. We've been able to maintain this sort of very short turnaround. So it's kind of 65 to 90. I think we're actually well below this now, but it's a minute to a doctor. We find that in that week, a lot of people re-engage in the service. So we have about a third of our patients that are using it a second or third time during the service, during the week that we give it to them. The big adopters are the Generation Zs and the Millennials, and so we have sort of a peak there. Why that's particularly interesting for me is those patients, that age group, is historically very unsatisfied with emergency medicine care. So across the nation, those are your lowest Press-Ganey scores. And so now we are interacting in a way and doing service recovery and establishing relationships with, quite frankly, the group that scores us the lowest. And so we've seen, and this is not surprising, but that technology is a way that they very much like and are interested in re-engaging with their healthcare providers. This was when we send people back in, what does it look like? So this is all done with physician-to-physician handoff, so we don't text, go back to the ER. It's very much, Mrs. Miller, I'm calling Dr. Smith now. He's going to be expecting you. I call Dr. Smith, and Mrs. Miller's coming back in. Her abdominal pain has gotten worse. She didn't get a CT scan. And then on arrival, Mrs. Smith hears from Dr. Miller, we're really happy you came back. I talked to Dr. Muller. I understand you guys have been interacting. Thank you for coming back in. So it's very much a concierge, white glove, warm handoff for these patients. And you can see we have, several hundred now of these patients that have very real disease. And this is not bad emergency medicine. This is just emergency medicine. And this is stuff that was started early and got a lot worse. And now we're bringing these patients back engaged in a model where they're not mad at you because you missed it, because they've stayed connected with you and they come back in and they feel like you're there for them. And so this has been for me the big win, and these are the ones that we're awful happy to still be involved in their care and have gotten them into the right places, and they're not across the street.